So for this camp, in any given day, Ryan wakes up and he runs like Forrest Gump. And he doesn't have to, but he does.
Feel amazing. He said 7 punches not gonna do it. I said, if you didn't put in the contract that I can't throw more than 7 punches, then I'd throw more than that.
Because Ryan is an elite fighter, he's a knockout artist, among the best fighters in the world today. They want to take every step to try to control the amount of strength.
Just 2 days, right?
Yeah. Just like one day he like forgot his tampon, he just started bleeding or place. 52 years, bro. And it's in the hood, bro. It hasn't closed down yet. You wanna know why? Because this place.
And Ryan's fast as shit. Ain't nobody gonna say Ryan's not one of the fastest fighters. And I look way faster at 47, way more explosive, way more durable.
Ryan Garcia is grinding hard in camp, staying locked in and determined, with Rolly Romero pushing him in training. He's sharpening his speed, focus, and confidence as he gears up for Mario Barrios.
Hey, go forward now. Yeah. Ahí, ándale, tipo, arriba, abajo y arriba. Arriba, abajo, eso. Adelante y atrás. Échale, hijo, 5 minutes here. And running. One.
Ryan Garcia sharpens speed and power daily, pushing limits in intense training camp sessions.
Stop. Una, dos, tres. Y luego 4 y 5. Las clases de la 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y aquí. Ya. 3, 4, 5. Y ahora.
Rolly Romero joins Ryan Garcia's camp, boosting intensity daily while sharpening speed, power, and laser focus relentlessly. Ryan Garcia stresses surrounding himself with positive, experienced people in camp to stay motivated, disciplined, and fully focused daily.
Tired of feeling down that day, we're picking each other up.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We feel so good. We're in this together.
We're like the same person, different hair color.
It's just good to have like-minded people that are ready to take advantage of the opportunities, and we're not going to let it slip. We're all building our own legacy, and when we get in the ring, you guys are going to see something special.
Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia, former sparring partners, now train together respectfully, pushing each other's development and growth daily.
Like that.
Mario Barrios stays confident, highlighting his experience and longer ring tenure, while claiming every edge over Ryan Garcia.
I have coming to this fight, it's just overall just like everything. My experience, who I've been in the ring with, who I faced. I think, the boxing IQ, I think I had that on my side. Heart. I think, yeah.
He does have experience.
Max Kellerman and Robert Garcia gave candid reactions to the announcement of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, focusing more on Ryan's camp structure than raw talent. They noted he's now training with his father instead of high-profile coaches like Eddie Reynoso, Derek James, or Joe Goosen. Robert acknowledged Ryan's strong amateur base under his father, but questioned why he cycled through elite trainers before returning home, suggesting possible issues with stability and authority within camp.
Which, I'm not saying the dad is not, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to that, he went through 3 different trainers. Wow. That means all 3 are not good enough to, they're all 3 are the best in the world.
Here's the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why. Yeah. Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not going to just let you get away with stuff like that. Derek James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's going to be under my rules. Mm-hmm. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's
Max Kellerman questioned whether Ryan Garcia truly surrendered to the authority of elite trainers, noting that top coaches demand discipline, accountability, and daily consistency. Fighters can dictate their own terms in structured camps. Robert Garcia added that champions trainers like Eddie Reynoso or Derek James won't lower standards for anyone. Without accepting leadership growth becomes difficult. Both analysts believe this instability could favor Mario Barrios, whose steady preparation size experience and structured camp may shape the fight's outcome.
To even pull that off.
See, that's the thing about boxing, and Big Baby Miller pointed it out, because there's no structure. And hopefully that'll happen with Zuffa Boxing, and I am a part of Zuffa Boxing, full disclosure. First fight coming up on the 23rd.
Oh, congrats, Max.
But you need some kind of.
On that card,
there
so
you go. You need some kind of.
Right?
So, the undercard has not been announced yet, but yeah, we could talk about what
names, but yeah,
but we need some kind of structure. In the NFL, the guy has to sit there for the media interview. He shows up on time. Yep. He's got to do it. Yep. And to give you an NFL analogy, think about the Broncos, right? When they had Russell Wilson over there and he had his own office and everything. And it was nothing, it was dysfunctional. Then they hired Sean Payton.
Cut it out.
As a coach, that's like going to train with Goosen or going to train with a world-class trainer, right? And you knew as soon as Sean Payton got there, ain't no one's going to have their own office. And you turn around a couple.
Boxing analyst Wade Plemons shared a measured take on the upcoming showdown between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, posing the classic debate: does a coach shape the fighter, or does the fighter elevate the coach? He highlighted Joe Goosen's respected track record and his reputation for refining talent, noting that Barrios is now training under him. Plemons questioned whether the veteran trainer can introduce new dimensions Barrios didn't previously gain from Bob Santos. He also emphasized Garcia's confidence, suggesting Ryan believes he already understands Barrios' strategy and camp approach.
I always wonder who makes a fighter, right? Especially in boxing, combat sports. Is it a coach that makes the fighter, or the fighter that Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach? We know. But do coaches fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about.
He noted Ryan Garcia claims to know inside details of Mario Barrios' prep, though their impact is uncertain. Plemons stressed the fight hinges not just on skill, but on coach-fighter dynamics. Can Joe Goosen bring new strategies to Barrios, or will Garcia's familiarity with Goosen give him the edge?
The chaos in the corner, or not maybe chaos, but kind of misdirection in the corner fight, where Bob Santos is saying one thing and other cornermen are saying, part of Mario's kind of OG team are saying another. I think it's pretty well known that I think I think it's, I would assume well known that Mario Barrios' dad used to train him, and I don't know if he was in the corner or it was somebody else, but there was a miscommunication, it seemed like, from even the people in the corner around the strategy of the Barrios fight for what they wanted to do against Manny Pacquiao. And let's just say I heard from sources there were a lot of frustrations that came out of that fight with how Barrios went into that fight, how he performed in that fight, and how directions were listened to from either one side or the other. It felt like it was a bit of a confusing thing. So when you have that kind of a situation, you feel like you need to make a move. One person's going to get left out in the dust, and it's probably not someone that's...
Ryan Garcia's trainer emphasized his fighters' discipline and improved weight management, saying this camp is unlike any before. Once Garcia focuses mentally, everything else clicks. Moving to the 140-pound division is realistic, with Garcia able to make the weight easily while keeping full strength and energy.
Our strength and conditioning coach will lock it in. Ryan will lock it in, and we're back to 140. Solid. But that's a strong possibility. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. And we talked about that.
It changes things.
Yeah, and I mean this. I mean this 100% sincerely, that we could make 140.
Because when you guys fought Haney, you guys were not necessarily you guys, but he was drinking, he was doing all these other things that...
Exactly, yeah. Forget about that and forget about the Rolly, because I'm telling you, that was not Ryan. This is Ryan. This is Ryan. You're going to see Ryan. This is going to be Ryan. And you're going to say, man, he looks good. His weight is good. And his strength is...
The trainer acknowledged that during the Devin Haney camp, Garcia wasn't fully focused and let distractions affect his prep. This time, his mindset is sharper and more professional. Fans can expect a leaner frame, improved stamina, and explosive power on fight night. The team noted that 147 pounds isn't far from 140, so cutting down without extreme rehydration shouldn't be an issue. Overall, the message is clear: a disciplined, dedicated, and stronger Ryan Garcia is back, ready to perform at his very best.
Too far off from 140. So there's a strong possibility without rehydration, cause we could probably drop down to 140 with no problem.
And make the fight happen at 40 instead.
Absolutely.
And then you guys can rehydrate whatever you guys want from there.
I mean, listen, this is another thing that I've been seeing, and this is kind of interesting, is that, yeah, you got to rehydrate, of course, absolutely. Now, how far you can rehydrate? I would love to be over 7-8 pounds. Some go 10, some go 12, some even go 15, but they do rehydrate. But when you're in shape, in total fitness, I think the most you could hydrate is 7 or 8 pounds. I'm not kidding you. When you're in...
Analysts warn fans not to overinterpret short Ryan Garcia training clips online. A 15-second or 1-minute highlight can't show true readiness for a 12-round fight. These edits showcase speed, power, and combos while hiding the tougher aspect of camp fatigue weight cuts and conditioning, often giving an incomplete picture of a fighter's preparation.
15-second clips, because Ryan very well could have had similar clips before the Rolly fight, but then he ends up losing to Rolly in New York. So for me, when I see sparring clips or brief edited clips online, I don't necessarily factor that in too much into what is to be the outcome, because the fact of the matter is, for Mario Barrios, I haven't really seen many clips from him at all. So training footage is very selective by nature. You're usually going to see the best moments plucked out, highlights, specific drills, things that would make someone look good. They don't really tell the full story about conditioning, weight cutting, or readiness. But what it does or can give you is an overall, like a snapshot of where the fighter is mentally, physically.
Analysts pointed out that Ryan Garcia looked impressive in similar clips before his loss to Rolly Romero in New York. Yet the fight outcome told a different story, showing that highlights alone don't predict results. Comparisons are harder with Mario Barrios, as very little training footage of him exists. Still, Garcia's clips suggest he's focus fit and serious, both mentally and physically sharper. Barrios, however, is a respected, durable welterweight with size and experience. Ultimately, these glimpses are just observations. The true test will be fight night when preparation meets reality and both fighters prove themselves in the ring.
Looking forward to the fight. I think Ryan Garcia really needs to impress here because he's coming off of a loss to Rolly Romero. And we all know in the world of boxing that back-to-back losses can really drive you down the ladder. So I am enjoying what I'm seeing regarding Ryan Garcia as he gears up for this particular fight. Ryan Garcia, his discipline has been in question in the past, but right now it looks like he's trying to really make a statement. He posted this via his official social media. This is Ryan's page, evident by the blue check mark. Quote, "Maybe you aren't my speed. Some shots throughout camp, the finish."
Greatness in boxing isn't just about wins, it's about legacy. If Ryan Garcia claims a world title, he becomes a high-profile name that captivates fans inside and outside the sport. Analysts say boxing's relevance in 2026 and beyond depends on star fighters with recognizable identities. A victory over Mario Barrios would excite younger fans and shine a spotlight on American boxing once again.
Does become a world champion, it just makes it more interesting. Legacy reigns supreme. I said the last year that coming into 2026, to sustain the sport of boxing, to captivate the imagination, the emotions, and the interest of the boxing fans and casuals outside of the sport of boxing, we need the names versus the names, relevant versus relevant. We need people that people recognize. We need the fans to recognize these names and they will be interested. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Garcia beating Mario Barrios is good for the sport of boxing. It's good for this young generation because let's be real, let's be honest. Mario Barrios is not going to cut it and keep the interest of the sport of boxing. He hasn't done it. He's been in big fights and he have not seized the moment. No, you Dennis Ugas, yeah, but it didn't seize the moment. We need interest. Ladies and gentlemen, American boxing is dying. A lot of people is not investing in American.
Barrios, despite his experience, has often fallen short in key high-profile fights. Garcia, in contrast, has mainstream appeal that draws casual fans and investors. Recent trends show that for boxing to thrive, star power and legacy matter, and champions like Garcia are crucial to reigniting interest and investment in American boxing.
Netflix is just going to give you this events here and there. Maybe they'll give us Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao too. But at the end of the day, everybody has abandoned American boxing, and the only way we get these investors back into the American landscape, we got to do what we did out there in Madison Square Garden, New York City, this past weekend when we saw Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez. Sold-out crowd. Why was a sold-out crowd? Because it was name versus a name. People recognize both names, tri-state area, right? Teofimo Lopez never did it sold out or even come close to selling out a big arena. Shakur
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more. See you next time.